religious color wars, right? They're just trying to get as many people on their team as possible.
And
Summer camp.
They love us.
Everything
That's the
comes back to
message.
summer
Jews,
camp.
we love you. Non-Mormons, we love you. We
sure.
want you to be in the kingdom of heaven with
And
us.
maybe
welcome to News Beast. Allison, welcome.
Thank you.
welcome, Allison.
Thank you.
So, you got a story on today about Mormons converting dead Jews. Strangely, this is controversial. Tell us more.
It's controversial, and it's actually been going on for quite a while, despite a couple decades of negotiations between Jewish and Mormon leaders to kind of prevent it from happening. The Church of Latter-day Saints apologized recently because they posthumously baptized Simon Wiesenthal's parents.
Dope!
So yeah, he's
It's the wrong dude.
yeah,
Wrong
famous
family.
Nazi hunter. You can't go there.
Yeah.
So they said they were sorry. They have this really big registry.
Do they unbaptize as by way of making? So they just sort of like,
It
oops, our
cannot
bad.
be undone. Yes.
So here's my question here. On the one hand, I totally get why this is wildly offensive. On the other, as a Jew, like, we don't believe that these baptisms mean anything. Like, the Jewish faith doesn't recognize a posthumous Mormon baptism as having any effect on the soul of a Jew or anybody else.
Right.
That's right.
So
I think
I mean, it's
it's kinda like just
incendiary and
knock yourself out.
provocative and obnoxious, but on the other hand, like, who really cares?
I think the operative
Apparently the
word here is
Wiesenthal family.
baptism. I think
Yeah.
Jews sort of for a very long time were persecuted for their beliefs in the Holocaust.
there
They
you
were
go.
murdered for them. So I think the idea of, be baptized, convert to Christianity or die, that's sort of the mantra for over centuries. So I think Jews are really
We're
upset by the
highly
word baptism.
sensitized to
Oh yeah.
the
I think
notion of
understandably in
Yeah,
this
I
particular.
get it. I hear it.
And there was sort of a totally unrelated but preamble to this story that Mitt Romney's father-in-law was among the posthumously baptized. What's
That's
the whole
right.
deal with that?
Yeah.
So the deal with that is that he's sort of a notorious atheist, right? And he was posthumously baptized in one of the 130 Mormon churches that exist. They decided somebody read his name off of a registry. This registry is really complicated and really convoluted, and there are tons of names. I mean, everybody living and died basically on Earth ever. That's what they're trying to record in this database.
How about that?
So they pull out.
It's ambitious. Can't
Yeah.
fault the ambition.
Very ambitious. They
And
pull out
it
his name.
Presumably comes from a good place. They're trying to make sure everyone's on getting to the hereafter.
It's like religious color wars, right? They're just trying to get as many people on their team as possible.
Well, okay then. Thank you for bringing it to a level we can all understand.
Summer camp.
They love us.
Everything
That's the
comes back to
message.
summer
Jews, we
camp.
love you. Non-Mormons, we
I'm
love you.
not
We
sure.
want you to be in the kingdom of heaven with
That
us.
may be the intended message, but it's certainly not.
Not the message you're getting.
I don't love you.
Well, let's talk about people who love a lot. The wags.
Oh,
Let's talk
yes.
about wags. 'Cause
Yes.
is this just a Brit term that we're trying to subtly mainstream?
Well, I think we've successfully mainstreamed it. Us
Really?
in the media.
What does it mean?
A wag
Apparently
is,
not.
Thanks for reading my story, Mark. A wag is the wife and girlfriend of a professional athlete. The term gained popularity around the 2006 World Cup when
Just
the
say
sort of
World Cup.
World
It's in
Cup.
this week's issue, right?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
it
my
is.
story in this week's issue. It's off of the comments that Gisele, I think rather heroically, albeit sort of unfortunately,
Crudely.
were captured on on videotape. But she was defending. Giants fans were taunting her after the Super Bowl. I'm a Giants fan, but I think that was in poor taste, the taunting. And she, not
We're
knowing that she was
anti-taunting.
being videotaped, stop taunting me. Not
Taunting in
knowing
a sports arena? Oh, God.
after the Super Bowl. Anyway, she said some things defending her husband that were caught on tape, and she became a villain for it, especially and troublingly among Boston fans who just transferred all their hate about and their anger and frustration that their team had lost
On her defending-
To Gisele?
onto her.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
which is I spoke to a man named Charlie Brown, who's a very brilliant sports psychologist.
Not his real name.
He was saying that he compared it to the way family members sometimes will throw tantrums and get really angry at an ambulance driver when their loved one has been in a car accident or suffered a health emergency. That it's much easier to transfer frustration.
And to work out your anger.
You don't want to hate your team. You love your team, so it's much easier to blame everything on
what I call the
on
Yoko effect.
The Yoko effect. You're not the only one who calls it that.
All right, so I got a story up today. Maine caucus could be the new Iowa, right? So after
Yeah, Ron's
the
not
epic,
happy.
Yeah, Ron Paul's not happy for a lot of different reasons, but one of which is, after less than 2% of registered Republicans bothered to turn out for the Iowa caucuses, it turned out the state GOP just forgot to count a couple of the precincts. Now, we've seen this movie before, of course, with Iowa. Romney allegedly, winning New Hampshire, the only candidate to win Iowa and New Hampshire, except it wasn't so. And in fact, 8 precincts in Iowa, we'll never know who won. Well, now there's calls for a recount. The Bangor Daily News breaking the story that there's called for a recount and a reassessment in Maine. And it's really just raising the question of, this can't be the best way to pick a presidential nominee.
Why can't we vote on an iPad? I'm sorry, but why can't we just go like this and send in our vote?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to get a brokered convention? Because this is preposterous.
After Super Tuesday, we'll know mathematically if we're headed in that direction. And there is a great new Rick Santorum ad that everyone should watch. But just generally, caucus, this is a nuts way to pick a president. It's really romantic. There's a lot I love about the fantasy of it, but the reality is just human and bureaucratic error.
Can't count.
We can't count. And this is not the way to pick leader of the free world. Damn it. All right, final word.
Baptism.
Nuts.
Nuts?
You just said nuts.
Oh.
Stuck in my head. Nuts.
Well, there you go. Faceplant. That's all for us at Newsbeast. We'll see you tomorrow.
What is faceplant?
What is faceplant?
Faceplant's just a general screw up we keep seeing with